Hey there, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie and this is Louisiana Cooking and Living, and today we are making some yummy meatballs. I like to make these, put them in the freezer and have them for any time where I want to make a quick spaghetti and meatballs. But today I'm actually making them for a future occasion. Gonna do the same process, but we're gonna end up putting them into like a barbecue sauce glaze for a dinner. And so, but it's the same process. I use these same exact meatballs for spaghetti and meatballs, and they are so yummy. They're so moist, and they're tender. Also, they're not like the tough kind that you buy in the freezer section. So we are gonna get started on that today. And in my bowl, I've already put, and I'm tripling this recipe. I'll try to remember to put the original measurements in the description box. But for today, we are doing a triple recipe, and I have 4.5 pounds of ground pork in my bowl already. And I was at Costco yesterday getting my ground meat, and I saw they had this, which I have never seen before. It's grass-fed, grass-finished beef. I usually buy the organic ground meat. This does not say organic on it, but it does say the grass-fed, grass-finished. So we thought we would try this one this time. And we are gonna be using 5 pounds of the ground meat in this recipe. So those are our two meat components, and we will go ahead and get our meatballs mixed together. All right, so I have my huge 20-quart stainless bowl here. This is my ground pork. I'm gonna get my ground meat in there. I couldn't get the little seams to pull, so I'm just going to cut them open. I have made these meatballs many times for different things, and we really like them. I usually try to always make extra and put them in the freezer because they're so convenient to have on hand. So grass-fed, grass-finished refers to how they feed their cow. Instead of, you can get grass-fed beef and then they finish them off with grain in order to fatten them up to make more money in the end, because the cow will weigh more. But if it's grass-fed, grass-finished, they don't fatten them up with that grain. To our meat, we're gonna be adding garlic. Should have pulled my garlic out of the freezer earlier. We're gonna add, I probably should put these in the microwave to soften them a little bit. Let me do that real quick. All right, we'll keep moving along while that garlic softens. So we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. We are gonna do 2/3 cup is the original recipe. And today we are going to do 3 of those, which would give us 2 cups of Parmesan cheese. Oops, 1. 2. Just break these up. This is my garlic. I get the peeled garlic cloves from Costco, and then I grind them up in the food processor and then use a cookie scoop to freeze little garlic pucks, basically, to have little servings. I don't want to waste all this garlic. All right, now we're gonna add 3 cups of breadcrumbs. I have panko breadcrumbs here. They're plain, they're not seasoned at all. So we're gonna do 3 cups of these. which is basically the container. All right, so next we're gonna add 6 eggs. I already cracked one. I'm going to get 2 tablespoons of salt in here. This is my Redmond Real salt. I do have a discount code in the description box if you want to try it out. It's mined here in the United States. All right, we're going to put a tablespoon of pepper in here. We're going to go with a tablespoon of red pepper flakes. Now we're going to go with 3 cups of ricotta cheese. I can find the edge, there we go. I'm not a fan of things like ricotta cheese, but I find that in here it just makes it so tender and moist. You don't really notice the cheesy texture, the graininess of it. All right, that's 1. 2. I'm just gonna dump the rest of this container in here. So that was 32 ounces, so it's about 3 cups. And last thing is some chopped parsley. I just have this bunch of parsley I'm just gonna chop. Let's see. All right, we'll get this into our bowl. And I'm gonna get some gloves to mix this up. Mostly because I know it's gonna be pretty cold with all the cold ingredients, and I don't want to over mix it. I want it to be tender, so I want to be gentle with it. It's gonna take a little bit of time to do that. So I just want to use the gloves to kind of do this as gentle as I can. In my meatloaf video, which I can leave a card up here at the top for you, I talk about to make sure that your meatloaf is tender, to use a fork to kind of break it apart and mix it up instead of like mashing it up with your hands, But this is quite a bit, so I didn't think a fork would be real efficient with this. I'm just trying to just gently break it apart. Get this pork mixed in. I have 2 different sizes of cookie scoops. I'm gonna use my smaller one today. If I was making this for spaghetti and meatballs, I would probably use the bigger scoop. Although I've done the smaller scoop because I've made this for our VBS kids, spaghetti and meatballs, and I did the smaller meatballs. But when I'm doing like for just my family, I'll do the bigger meatballs. We're gonna use the smaller scoop today since we're using this as like an appetizer with the barbecue sauce. If you are wanting to make this strictly for spaghetti, you could also add Italian herbs to this. I've done that before. Today I was just kind of wanting to leave it a little plain. Just kind of folding it all together. All right, we'll get our sheet pans ready because we are going to pre-cook these in the oven. So let me get my sheet pans together. All right, I have 3 of my sheet pans. I'm not sure how many I'm gonna need. I'm gonna line them with parchment paper to make cleanup much easier. So I have found that if you kind of wrinkle up the parchment paper, it lets it lay and not kind of jump out of your pan. So these are my 2 different size cookie scoops. I'll leave them both linked in the description if you want to do the bigger meatballs or the smaller ones. I think this bigger one is 1/4 cup. I'm not sure. This one maybe is a tablespoon and a half or something. I'm not sure. But I'll leave them both linked in the description box if you want a bigger one or a smaller one, if you don't have a cookie scoop. This just makes sure that your meatballs are all uniform in size so they cook at the same time. And I just go through and I scoop a bunch, and then I will go back and kind of roll them to make sure they're a ball instead of all shaggy. All right, I'm gonna get to scooping all these, and we will come back and see how many we get. I don't know that I'll count them, but we'll see how many pans of them I'll get. Okay, so we got 3 giant pans of meatballs, and so there's the other 2 here on the counter. We'll get these in the oven on 400 degrees, let me make sure, yeah, 400 degrees, and it takes about 20 minutes to cook them, but I'll have to rotate my pans, and I'll only get 2 in there the first time, and then I'll have to do this 3rd pan by itself. So I'll put them in for 20 minutes, and then you're gonna brown them for a couple of minutes on broil. So of course I'll rotate again when I do that. So we'll get 2 pans in the oven and get these going. I'll be back after we get all these cooked up. All right, y'all, this is about a tray and a half of my kind of consolidated. I got to flash freeze these to get them in the freezer before I put them in Ziploc bags. And then they will freeze well. Just gonna show you the inside of one. Here we go, it's got a little toasty from broiling it. See if we can bring it a little closer. See, it's all juicy inside. We'll taste it. Still warm. So good. It'd be better if you had some Italian seasonings, like I said, if you're going the spaghetti meatball route. But for doing with barbecue sauce, this is perfect. Sorry, I had to rinse my hands. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try. Let me finish chewing. That's rude. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, we ask that you subscribe to the channel and follow along with us as we cook, and we do all kinds of things around Louisiana, mostly cooking though. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.